Thanks. So today I tabled the department budget for the 2025-2026 financial year. It amounts to 6,060 million rand, mainly made up of two funding sources. The first being from Provincial Treasury, amounting to 1.2 billion rand, and that is from equitable share. That's going to deal with administration. It's also going to deal with interim sanitation, which we've allocated 332 million rand for. It also will deal with 100 million, which was a historic payment that we now owe and are due to pay. The bulk of it comes from conditional grants through National Human Settlements, which is, you would find the detail of it tabled by the Minister of National Human Settlements when she tabled the budget last week. That is an allocation to Gauteng to the tune of 4.2 billion. It's made up of two grants. One is referred to as the Informal Settlement Upgrade Grant. The second one is the Human Settlement Development Grant, or HSDG. Both work in tandem, the two grants work in tandem to deliver human settlements across the value chain, from planning projects, so we spend money to plan on various activities like engineering services, EIAs, preparation, dealing with design work, submissions to council, etc. The next phase of that is the actual construction, and majority of our budget is located in mega projects. And mega projects, we have an average of 2 per municipality, except City of Tshwane. City of Tshwane, we don't have any active mega projects. What we're doing in the City of Tshwane is to complete incomplete projects that were stalled years ago, mainly in Mamelodi, in Soshanguve, etc. We're also working with the municipality to deal with issues in Esteris. It's historic, but we're working with the municipality, City of Tshwane, to be able to deal with those. And that budget will also help us revitalize 1 hostel per corridor. And in Tshwane it will be Mamelodi, Ekurhuleni, Setulha Hostel, Kagisoy Hostel in the West Rand. In Sedibeng we'll be working on the Ratanda Hostel, and in the City of Joburg it will be the Jabulani Hostel. That's over and above the 6 hostels that we own directly. We own 6 hostels, and we are currently doing work refurbishing, maintenance, reconstruction of some parts of the hostels, but with the intention eventually to devolve properties that we own to municipalities. So eventually even the 6 hostels will go to the City of Joburg. So that in a nutshell is a high-level summary of the budget. 6,060 million just for the delivery of human settlements across the value chain. It will include the registration of title deeds, and our budget will allow us to register 8,623 title deeds. That's notwithstanding what we've requested municipalities to look at in terms of relaxing regulations, that if we do get it through this year, will unlock another close to 10,000 title deeds. Thank you.
So I would like to ask in terms of the hostels. So I saw that you were at Ekurhuleni, Thokoza to be exact. I would like to ask about the conditions that you witnessed there, maybe the plans that you might have for those specific hostels.
Yes, so municipalities, all the municipalities, almost all of them without fail, own some hostels themselves. And by law, ordinarily, they are responsible for the maintenance and the upkeep and even major work that they would like to do in the hostels. Yes, I was at Thokoza Hostel. It is in quite a bad state. I think not only the physical structure of the hostel, but even the environment. You've got huge water leaks, you've got sewer leaks, you've got ailing infrastructure. Essentially, I think we have to work with the municipality there to work on a program for redevelopment of that hostel. It sits on huge tracts of land, so there's potential to give us many more, human settlements opportunities, housing opportunities for even more residents than just the hostel, current hostel residents. And I think that's the approach the municipality should take. We've met with the municipality. We've said to them, let's work together to put together the submission that must go to national Treasury for funding just for bulk infrastructure, because I think we'll not be able to do anything as the province if there isn't adequate bulk infrastructure. And the bulk infrastructure just needs to be completely replaced. I think it's beyond its lifespan now. In some instances, it has completely collapsed, so you need to totally replace it and upgrade it. Because if you're looking at the amount of people that rely and use that infrastructure now, it also doesn't meet the requirements of the amount of people. So for the current financial year, we don't have any plans on that hostel, but you would recall that the Premier made pronouncements on 5 hostels in the province, owned by municipalities, that the province is going to support the municipalities to address their issues. And in Ekurhuleni, we had already gone a long way in identifying that we will do the work in Sethuga Hostel, which is in Tembisa. Also in quite a bad state, dilapidated. The municipality has not been able to maintain and maintain the standard of that hostel. So we are going to support the municipality to do that work. Ultimately, though, it needs the municipality to do the long-term work that's required there.
So when you start with the renovations, are there housing maybe solutions that you're going to offer the tenants?
So there in Sethuga, we'll provide temporary, because it's brownfield, what we refer to as brownfield. Brownfield means that it's active, it's a facility that's in use, it's not a brand new facility. So we will locate them in temporary units, or as we work on it in a phased approach, we will fix and locate residents in those areas that are fixed and move them in and out in that fashion. The principle is always to move you once, so we take you out, fix your place and move you back in. And I think the bigger challenge really, I do know that the Provincial Department of Human Settlements had a project at Sethuga Hostel years ago. It came to a standstill, it stopped. So part of us going back to that hostel specifically is to complete that work and then deal with the hostel proper in terms of its overall condition.
All right. Good evening, MEC. Gauteng from PBFM in Pretoria here. Now, MEC, you say this budget is not just a financial instrument, it is a moral commitment to unlock dignity, security, and opportunity. Can you perhaps unpack this statement and maybe explain how the houses you build are central in delivering on the promises of the Constitution as well as the Freedom Charter?
Yes, thanks. So our Constitution is premised on the Freedom Charter. The Freedom Charter is really the precursor to the Constitution. And what you find in the Freedom Charter, you find it in the Constitution as a right. So the Freedom Charter would be a charter of what South Africans at the time, 1955, believed that South Africa, the type of South Africa they wanted to create. It then finds expression in the Constitution as rights that South Africans are entitled to. So constitutionally, we have to provide housing opportunities, and that's exactly what we're doing. But I think for us, it goes beyond just the house itself. Because you can have a house, but if you don't have security of tenure, if you don't have confirmation that you actually own the house, you've not really restored somebody's dignity. You've not really given them security, because ownership brings with it a lot of security. While the shelter does go a long way in providing the dignity and some level of security because you know it's your own, there's always that gray area that it's not mine until it's mine. And I think that's why we really want to accelerate the issuing of title deeds. So the housing, and you will find, we do find that especially in the old townships that were established, different conditions at the time, we've not been able to issue title deeds there. You do find people who are resident in a house for 15 years extremely anxious because they're not sure that they say, yes, this is my house, but I don't have a document that confirms it. And of course, without the document, it leaves communities quite vulnerable. So we're working with municipalities to be able to address that. I think for us, it's important that we don't delay the issuing of title deeds after we've allocated and moved people into houses. We can only issue title deeds once we've allocated the houses, because there is a a legal process that is linked to that. There's also a council process that's linked to that. So I can't issue a title deed on the day when I allocate the house. You've got to be allocated the house, then the municipality comes in, we deal with the legal, all the other legalities, register through conveyances with the deeds office, and then we get issued the title deeds. So we're just looking at, from an internal perspective as a department, what activities can we shorten so that we get to a point where we have definitive dates that if you move in, it takes 90 days for your title deed. And I think we'll use the rest of this year to be able to work on those so that we have a definite, on the day that you're allocated, you know when to expect your title deed.
Good evening, MEC. My name is Smats from Soweto FM. Can you please tell us how governance reforms have assisted in maintaining unqualified audit and resolve 74% of audit findings, and in making sure that 100% of invoices are also paid within 30 days?
So yes, we have been performing well on the payment of invoices within 30 days. We are at 100% and we've been able to maintain 100% throughout. We always have a gap at the end of the financial year because for instance, some of our services are month to month. So if you want to use an example of the hostels, the work that we're doing at the hostels, we clean there, we provide security and those types of things. So those we get billed month to month. At the end of the financial year, the treasury system closes before the end of the month. And so there's always like a lag because we always get asked, okay, well, if you're paying your invoices within 30 days, why do you have accruals? So accruals come from that when the year end closes and treasury closes its books to when treasury reopens. So we always have to go to treasury to request for approval of rollovers. It's a minimal amount. So on invoices within 30 days, we are 100%, and I think I'm satisfied with that. We must maintain it. There's, if you've reached 100%, you must maintain 100%. We shouldn't go back. I think the area that we just need to be able to improve on is the rate at which the delivery happens throughout the year. One of the biggest criticisms that we've been faced with in the past as a department is that we have slow spending in the first 2 quarters. And that's really because, we take some time to communicate to developers, etc., what is their allocation for the year, etc. So we want to be able to bring that forward so that even if we build ahead, etc., there is our ability to spend in the first 2 quarters is improved. But I think the department has done a lot in terms of addressing audit issues. 74%, all our audit issues, 74% of them are closed and dealt with. The outstanding issues are really historic and predate even my predecessor's time. So you would recall that the Department of Human Settlements was the department that was affected by the fire at the Bank of Lisbon building. We were sharing that building with the Department of Health. A lot of records of the department were destroyed in that fire, and it has led to audit findings back then because we don't know the POE, etc. We're working with Treasury to see how to close those gaps so that we can deal with those once and for all and deal with and close those historic findings. But you'll find that historic findings are really they predate even my predecessor. They are during that period. We just have to find a regulatory way to deal with those historic findings so that we can move forward. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.